You're watching Mugen TV RPG Haven. Experience a fantasy like no other.
Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and oh my god, so many game announcements tonight. But before we get into it, if you haven't checked out my previous video where I talked about Sonic Frontiers and how it's pretty much the make it or break it moment for me in regards of if I'm going to continue to support the Sonic series. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts. I definitely want to hear what you have to say when it comes to your relationship to the Sonic series and what you think about Sonic Frontiers. So definitely check out that video. So let's dive into tonight's topic because, oh boy, JRPGs are back, and they're back with vengeance because JRPGs really came strong at tonight's Nintendo Direct. A lot of classics are making a return as remasters and remakes, and most of all, Nintendo made a shocking announcement, a third entry into the Xenoblade series. So I just want to go over some of the JRPGs that was revealed in tonight's Nintendo Direct, so let us dive right into it. Now, first of all, I was definitely caught by surprise when Nintendo came out with Square Enix and they made an announcement of a front mission. The very first front mission is getting a remake, a true remake, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, I played front mission on the PS1 when they released it back then, and I enjoyed it for what it was. And the fact is that they reintroducing it to a whole new generation of gamers. This is a perfect chance for them to make their experiments to see what works, what doesn't work. If it builds interest, we can definitely get a new entry into front mission. And what I like about it is it's a tactics games meet the mecha genre. Now the thing is, my brother Keel Lancer, he's a big mecha fan, and he's a big front mission fan. And the fact is that they took my favorite genre, the tactics genre, and then he took mechas and they put them together. It makes one hell of a combination, one hell of a mix, and I was not expecting to hear any of this. Now, Square Enix wasn't done yet. They had made an announcement that yes, in fact, Chrono Cross is definitely being remastered, and it's called Chrono Cross Radical Dreams Edition. Now, as far as Chrono Cross is concerned, Chrono Cross is pretty much the follow-up to the popular SNES JRPG series game of all time, which is Chrono Trigger. Love Chrono Trigger, big fan of Chrono Trigger, and this was the follow-up to that game, but on the PS1. Now, this game really has divided the community because a lot of people walked into Chrono Cross expecting the experience of Chrono Trigger, but Chrono Cross ended up being its own experience, its own kind of game, and the game is still good. It's not a bad game at all. It's a really good game, but people often compare it to Chrono Trigger, which is definitely not fair. But the fact is that they're doing a remastered of it, and there was always been rumors about this. It was just a matter of when, because Nvidia website had pretty much leaked out that Chrono Cross was coming back in some shape or form. It was just a matter of when it was going to announce it and what kind of form was it going to be in. If it's going to be just a remaster, or was it going to get a remake similar to what Trials of Mana had received with their remake. So I'm definitely going to pick the game up, definitely going to give it a try, because I definitely want to get back into it and try to, you know, experience what I remembered of the game when I played it back then. I never owned the game. My cousin had it, and I borrowed his game, and I played a bit of it, but I never really got a chance to really sit down with the game. And also, it's going to include Radical Dreams. Now, Radical Dreams is pretty much the foundation of what started Chrono Cross, because Radical Dreams is one of those, what do they call those games, those graphic novel type games where it's just nothing but a wall of text and you just go through the text, make this different decisions and stuff. Well, that's what pretty much what Radical Dreams was, and they decided to take that story and then elaborated on it even more, and that's where you got Chrono Cross. So you not only just got Chrono Cross, you got the original game Radical Dreams that's going to be included in the package. So Square wasn't lying when they said that they was going to really step up their game when it comes to remaking and remastering a lot of their classics. Now, we also have Triangle Strategy. Now, this is a game that I have yet to cover on this channel. There's a demo out for the game, and I'm definitely going to play the demo on the Nintendo Switch, and then I'm going to give you my impressions, what I thought about the demo, because I love tactics games. I said it before, Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite strategy JRPGs of all time. And if you want to compare it and rank it with the other Final Fantasies, Final Fantasy Tactics is pretty much my number one, and then number two is Final Fantasy VII. So that says a lot. So Triangle Strategy, Square also want to follow that same tradition with their tactics game, but they want to go with the HD 2D pixel art direction with this game. So I'm definitely going to give it a try. They have a new trailer out on it. They just give you more story, more character development, and gameplay. So definitely looking forward to that. Now, the announcement that really caught me by surprise, and I did not see this coming, is a game called Live Alive, and it's being remade in the same art style, which is the HD 2D pixel art, similar to Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy. This game right here, Live Alive, is a game that was created on the SNES back in Japan and never saw a US release ever. Now, what's so funny about this is there's a lot of JRPG or RPG YouTubers that I follow, and they always had this game on their list because they play a lot of the Famicom games, you know, on their channel. And they said this is one of the JRPGs that they totally love, and they said, and they were hoping that they would port it over in some way. And guess what? They finally doing it, and they're doing it in a remake. Now, what's so interesting about this is this game kind of have like a romancing saga type of gameplay. Is essentially where you're playing as different characters from different perspectives, but in this game you're playing characters from different time periods. Now, if I remember correctly, I think eventually these characters will eventually unite together, eventually. But man, like the fact is that they're remaking it and they considered to bringing it here. Kudos to the developers for even allowing this, and that goes to show us that they really trying to pump up the ante up and take serious when it comes to JRPG. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now the thing is, I'm not gonna go full into details because I will take all day talking about this, but I'm gonna have a separate video alone dedicated to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If you haven't checked out my previous video or my last video talking about how Xenoblade Chronicles 2 invigorated my passion for JRPGs, definitely check out that video. And it's almost at 1K views, which I'm really proud of, and I'm glad that a lot of you guys definitely had the same experience as me and had that same feeling for the Xenoblade series, because Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I'm all in it. I'm all hyped for it, and I knew it was Xenoblade Chronicles 3 the moment I heard the English voices. If for some reason they just insist on going with the English voices, especially for the main characters, and I gave you my opinions of what I think about the voices in that video, so go check it out. But look at the trailer, I found a lot of similarities between both Xenoblade 1 and 2 mixed together into this. And the story really got me interested in to see where this is going to go. And of course, you have the Monado, or a blade that's similar to the Monado in this trailer as well. It has the iconic red blade. And of course, we're going back to the Mechanis and, you know, the big godlike giants once again, which the Xenoblade franchise is ultimately known for. So I can't wait to see how the gameplay is going to be, especially the combat. From the rumors, so we heard that the combat is going to be more action RPG oriented than turn-based, but we have to definitely see what they're going to do. But this game already piqued my interest, and as I said before, I'm definitely saving this for a whole nother video for itself. But all I have to say is that Nintendo is not playing around this year as far as JRPGs are concerned. And the fact is that what I love about what Nintendo is doing, and other developers need to copy this, Nintendo only announces games when they're close to being ready. They announced, like, this whole direct is, they made the announcement and we don't have to wait long until the game actually releases, because Xenoblade Chronicles 3 come out September 2022, and I think developers need to follow this method. Instead of announcing games that's going to be like 4 or 5 years away, and we have to get this fake hype, or we have to get this hype train going, and then it builds too much speculation. Nintendo's doing it right, and Nintendo fans really need to just be quiet and let Nintendo do what they do. Nintendo don't follow the trends, what their competitors does. They don't follow Microsoft, they don't follow Sony. They stay in their own lane, and I like what they're doing, because every time Sony or Microsoft make their announcements, Nintendo fans get upset. Well, when are we gonna get a direct? When are they gonna announce this? There's no games. It's like, just shut up and just let Nintendo do what they do. They're quiet for a reason, and I love how they make their announcements. They make their announcements, and then we don't have to wait long until the game is actually officially released. And I love that approach, and I think a lot of developers should adopt that, you know? But that's pretty much my opinion for this. I'm looking forward to this. JRPGs are back, baby, and I'm loving every bit of it. And this channel is going to have a crap ton of content as far as these games are concerned. So I hope you guys are going to be here and enjoy the ride, because this is going to be a fun ride, and I can't wait to be able to share my love, share my passion for JRPGs with y'all. And I definitely want to hear your thoughts on these announcements as far as JRPGs are concerned? Are you looking forward to it? Do you think Nintendo had delivered with the Nintendo Direct as far as JRPG is concerned? Because I didn't really talk about the rest of the Direct, because I know a lot of you guys don't really care for Nintendo overall. So every Nintendo content that talks about Nintendo in general, y'all seem to not watch it. But I know you guys love to hear about the JRPGs. So definitely hear your thoughts. If you like the video, hit like, hit subscribe. And if you want to stay up to date for more JRPG news, hit the bell to be notified. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you Game Fiends later. Peace out.